Hey there, today we'll be doing this question that appeared in Leetcode weekly contest 340-2615, sum of distances. And the given question statement is we are given a zero index integer array nums. There exists an array ARR of length nums.length where ARR of I is the sum of I minus j mod over j such that nums of j equals to nums of I and j is not equals to I. If there is no such j, set ARI to be 0 and we need to return the array. So this question statement might seem a little bit confusing. So let's understand this question statement better. So what they are telling us is that we need to return an array of some sums. And what are these sums going to be? Now, first of all, we need to take out all the indices of some similar element. Okay. And if it is not appearing, we'll just be taking that only. Now, what do I mean by that? So if we see one is appearing some number of times, so let's just first write that. So one is appearing where first? It is appearing at 0th index, second index, and third index. Fine. Now in our answer array, we'll be having obviously four indexes, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the indexes where 1 is appearing, now we need to calculate their sum of distances. And what this sum of distances is telling you, that at the 0th index will first go at this position. Now what we have to do is we just have to calculate the sum of the distances on the right and on the left. Now what do I mean by that? Right and left, we'll see to it. Right meaning first we'll subtract 0 minus 2, and remember we have a modulo there. Okay, so it will give us 2. Now again 0 modulus 3, so it will give us 3. Now what are the sum of their all numbers that we are getting from here? That is 5. So at the 0th index our answer for the distance would be 5. Now if you see in the question statement also, or the answer array, we'll get the answer as 5. Now coming on to the next part, that is at index 2. Now this is where things get interesting. So at index 2, we see we have an index to the left and to the right as well. Now how do we calculate it? So first of all, we need to see that to the left we have something. So 2 minus 0, it will give us 2. Well and good. Now 2 minus 2 is 0 eventually, right? So it does not make any sense to even take this. Now we'll be just considering the last one, that is 3 minus 2. That is 3 minus 2. Now you might be wondering, why did I write 3 minus 2 and not 2 minus 3? Now remember, since it is in a modulo format, that is the answer has to be in the modulo format, no matter what you do, the answer is going to come out to be the same. Okay, now we just add these two, that is 2 plus 1, that is 3. So at index 2 our answer is 3, and if you see on the given question statement, the answer is 3 at that index as well. Now you must have gotten what we need to do. Okay, so the question statement now seems to be clear. Now let's understand the intuition on how do we actually arrive to this type of solution. Now how do we understand that? What do we need to do? First of all, we have one thing in mind, that I need to do something with indices. Now what can I do? Now one is appearing some number of times, so I can take a map of integer and an array. Integer will be saying that this number is appearing these many number of times at some index. So one is appearing at 0, 2, and 3. So this is one thing that I can get out of it. Okay, now this rule similarly applies for 3 and 2 as well, but we'll be going one at a time. Okay, if you understand for one number, you can do it for every number. It will be very easy. Okay, so let's get on to this part now. Now how do we calculate it? Now here we will be using the prefix sum to actually compute our answer. Now you must be thinking how prefix sum will actually help us. We'll get to it. So one is coming here at 0th index, second index, and the third index. Now how does prefix actually help us to get the answer? Now one thing you need to see is, let's just ignore the 0th and the third index for now. Let's just say we are calculating our answer for the second index right now. Okay, for 0 and 3 we have, let's just say we have already calculated and we have pre-written it. We are calculating it for the second index. This will actually help you understand the whole process and the intuition to how to actually build the answer. At the second index, we see that we have something to the left and something to the right as well. Now, how do we calculate it? We know that to calculate the distance, what are we going to do? We are going to do 2 minus 0, which will give us a value of 2. And we will do what? We will do 2 minus 3, right? That is what our question statement tells us, that you subtract 2 from all the indexes, and whatever the answers that you are getting, you just add everything up and you'll be getting the answer. That is what the sum means for the distances. Now how do we actually arrive to a solution that prefix sum is going to help us? Now if we see, the answer leads up to 3, right? Now let's see how prefix sum will help us achieve this answer. Now one way to actually do is to just do the n square process, that is try for every index, take this and take out the distance of this and this. But that is not what you have come here for, right? We'll see the prefix sum one. So for prefix sum, first of all, we'll just calculate the whole array's sum. Now, what is the sum of this whole array? That is 5. Okay, so the sum of the whole array is 5. And what is the sum of indexes till this index? What is the sum till this index excluding this index? That means what is the sum when I'm at the index 2, that is this one? I will be needing the sum till my previous one, that is previous index. So what is my sum till the previous index? That is 0. Okay, so we'll be maintaining a value called right sum and left sum. Right sum says this is right sum and this is left sum. Okay, left sum will track the value till the left index, and right will say I will be giving you all the summation till the last index. Okay, all the way till the last. Now summation for the whole thing is 5, but what do we need? We need the summation till this index only. So what is it? It is nothing but 2. So let's just write 2 here. Now this is done, right? We know the summation till 2, that is this part, and we know the summation till the previous index. Now how will this help us? So coming on to the actual part, one thing we need to see that 2 minus 0, this is what we were doing. Now if you see, 2 was being added to this how many number of times? Now let's just understand this statement with a comprehensive one or a better one. So let's just take 0, 2, 3 and 4. This will actually help us get to the problem in a much better answer or a fashion. So let's just say 3 for the sake of it. Okay, I'm at this position and I want the summation of these things. So how will we calculate it? We will do 3 minus 0, then 3 minus 2. After that, we need some also to the right one, that is 4 minus 3. Okay, we do 4 minus 3. Now what is the summation for everything? This is 3, this is 1, and this is also 1. So this is what we will be getting. After that, what are we going to do? We are going to add everything up. So 3 plus 1 is 4 and 4 plus 1 is 5. So the total answer comes out to be 5. Now one thing we need to observe, I'll just draw a boundary right here. We see that everything on this hand is the left and everything onto this is the right. That means this 3 is going to the right and trying to compute all the sum for the right numbers, and this thing is just going to the left and saying what are the indexes that I can find to my left and what is it contributing, right? So this is the main crux behind this. All you need to do is you have to divide the indexes in left and right format. So now how do we actually form an answer from it, knowing that we can divide it into left and right? Dividing it into left and right is very easy, right? We know the sum till my right also, and we can get the summation till the left also. But how is it going to help us? This might be a question. So coming on to it, so if we see, whenever we are having at these indexes, that means if I'm at this index, I know how many elements are there to my left. Obviously, if I'm at which position, second position, I can know that okay, there are 2 elements to the left of me. This is very easy to find, right? Obviously we can just track it by a index. Okay, that I index, we can just do it in a for loop. Now if you see, 3 is contributing to my answer or adding to my answer by how many times? 2 times, if you see. So what can we do? Wherever I am at right now, what is the value of that index? That is 3. Now how many elements are there to my left? That is 2. So I'll be multiplying 2. After that, whatever is the summation till my previous index, that is this one. Okay, so I'm standing at 3 right now, and whatever my summation is till my previous index, I will subtract that. Now it might be hard to digest that where am I getting these mathematical formulas for, but we'll try to prove it that it actually works. So let's just go step by step. So up until now, this is what we are having. Now let's just calculate it. That is 6 minus 2 is what? 4. Up till here, it's done. Now if you see, our answer is actually 4, right? It is 3 plus 1, 4. See, this is how we are getting it. Now once we do the right one, you'll be understanding that yes, this is a pretty practical formula and we can devise it. Now you see, to the right of me, I have what? Only one element. How can we find out that how many elements I'm having? That is again very simple. We will just do whatever the number of elements are there. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 elements. Where am I at right now? Where am I? That is 0, 1, 2. I'm at the second element, minus 1. So how many elements are there to the left of me? It is 1. 4 minus 2 minus 1. That is 1. So I know I have only one element to the right of me. That I can do. That is pretty simple index maths, right? That we can do. We can find, okay, there is only one element to the right of me. Now, what am I going to do? I'm just going to do whatever my number is, yes, exactly whatever we did in the left part, we'll do the same thing. 3 into the number of elements I have to the right of me, that is 1. And now comes the most important part, that is, what is my summation of the right part? What is the summation of my right part? That is what I want to know. This is the most important part. So how do we know that? So how do we find out what is the summation till the right part? What we can simply do is we can just have a variable which will maintain the overall sum. That is, what is the total sum of the indices? That is 4 plus 3, 7, 8, 9. So the total summation is 9. Okay. Now, where am I at right now? I'm at this index, that is 0, 1, 2. At the second index, I can know the sum till this index. I can maintain another variable which will store the sum till this index, that is 3 plus 2, 5. Right. So if I do 9 minus 4, the total sum minus the index where I'm at right now, I can get the summation. What is whatever is on the right to me? Yes, we can do that. A pretty obvious thing that we can do. Yes, right. Now I know that whatever is right to me, I know the sum of that also. So I'll just subtract 4 minus 3 into 1. And 3 into 1 is nothing but wherever you are at right now, how many elements do you have to the right of it? And what is the value of that index? That is 3. So if you see, it will give us a value of 1. That is what it is giving us. Now, if you do just left plus right, you will get 5, isn't it? 4 plus 1, 5. So I hope you have understood this. And if not, please do go through this part, that the part that I was explaining, this whole part, and you'll surely understand it, because this is the most crucial part. It requires a little bit of mathematical intuition. Okay. And if not, please do take a pen and paper and dry run this whole thing with me again on a pen and paper, and you will see that you will definitely understand it. Okay. So now coming on to our previous example, that is our actual sum that we were doing. And I'll just delete this part. Okay, for some reason. Okay, yes, it's done. Sorry about that. Now coming on to our actual answer. So if you see, this is how we compute our whole answer. Now there is one catch to it, that is 0, 2, and 3. If you see, whenever I'm at the first index or whenever I'm at the last index, as you remember that whenever we were at some middle index, you can have some elements to your left and some elements to the right. That will give you a correct answer, right? But if you are at the first index, you have nothing to your left. So what do? You just say that your left sum would be nothing but 0. That means you do not have anything to the left of you. Now, when you are at the last index, what do you have? You see that you have nothing to your right of it. You only have some elements to the left of you. So I will say, I will not calculate anything for the right because I do not have any elements for the right. Okay, so I'll just get that r is equals to 0. That means I do not have any elements to the right of me. Now let's get to the code part. Once you get through the code part, you'll understand each and everything. At first, what have we done? We have taken a map. As you remember, we had taken a map of int comma all the indexes. Okay, so we are just saying that, okay, 1 is appearing at these many indexes, fine, and let's just say 2 is appearing at these many indexes. It can be 1 also. Now we have just created the map of the element and how many times it is appearing and in which index. So this is done. Now for this part it is done. I've just declared a answer array which is in long format, so you need to take care of that. After that, we are iterating in the map. Now this part is very important. Now if you see, we have our index array. That means I'll just draw it right here again. That is 1 is appearing, let's just say 0, 2, 3. Okay, in these indexes. So I've stored these array, that is this array, in a temporary array right here. Okay, I've just basically stored this thing in a temporary array. Now you can also do it directly, but for the ease of it, I've just taken another value and I've done it. Okay, after that we have some variables, that is left sum and right sum. Now we'll come to it, what is this, and a sum also. After that, what are we doing? In the right sum, we are adding everything up, all the summation values, that is 3 plus 2, 5 and 0. That is, what is the right sum? Right sum is nothing but the total sum of the array of the indexes wherever 1 is appearing. Okay, that is what right sum is saying to us. Now where does this right sum help? Yes, exactly. In order to find out whatever is the summation till the next index, that means let's just say if you are at index 2, we were doing some calculations, right? And we had been needing the value of what is the summation to the right of me. That means there is some element that is present to the right of me and what is the sum of those elements. So we were calculating it by subtracting the right sum, that is the total sum, minus the summation till the index where you are at currently right now. So this is how we were finding out. So that is where this write sum variable actually helps us. Now after that, what are we doing? We're just simply going through this array. We'll be at the 0th index. Then what are we going to do? We're just going to say what is the right sum, that is whatever the summation is from the next index till the last value, that is 5, right? So how do we do that? Whatever is the total sum, that is 5, minus wherever I'm standing at right now, you just subtract that. So to the right of me, the number of elements that are present there, their summation comes out to be 5, and it is exactly that, isn't it? Now this part is also done. Now what is this LNR doing? As discussed when we were doing it in the notepad, we discussed a formula, right? We just devised it, that how many elements were present there, you just accordingly do it. Now that is what we are doing here. So after that, what are we doing? We are just adding, taking a temporary variable, and we are just storing L plus R, the left sum and the right sum. So if you are standing at index 2, you'll be having left sum, that is this thing, and a right sum. You just add it and you store this in your answer array. After you have done it, you just return it at the end of the day. Now again, I'll be saying, please do go through the mathematical formulation part again and take a pen and paper and actually do it there, and you'll understand it pretty easily. Okay, now this code, if you want it, it will be linked in the description as well. You can check it out from there. And if you did understand the whole explanation and liked it, please do like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.